How's it going, everyone? So I just wanted to make a quick video because the last couple of days I've been getting a couple of DMs, people worried about will they go insane and go crazy and go nuts from panic disorder and anxiety attacks. And I just wanted to touch on it, and because it's quite an important video, and you know, I think it stands for everybody, because I know I did when I was going through all my ordeal. Like, I was like, this is going to send me off the wall, like. But you know, it's all irrational. You know, there was a great book that you know, there's a great book on it about this exact subject. He's a scientist, Jeffrey Hammes, and he had this for 15 years. A bit like Claire Weekes, where there's an intellect struggling with this disorder. Like, Claire Weekes was a doctor and whatever, a neuroscientist, whatever she was. She was amazing, very high intellect, and still struggled with it. And then there's a scientist, Jeffrey Hammes, in the book called The Panic Switch. So, you know, it happens to people who are aware of, you know, their body, their mind. You know, it can happen to anybody because it's stress. Stress can hit anybody in life. Doctors, nurses, presidents, Navy SEALs. Stress can hit anyone, guys. And it's not just those who are intellectual and understand it can escape stress. So anyway, this guy had it for 15 years, a scientist, and in this book he explains about fears of going crazy and losing your mind. And when I read it, I was like, this is literally incredible. Then I was totally just, that fear never popped into my mind again, because I read such a profound statement on how I felt. So he says this in the book, you know, people who are crazy, they don't even, you know, God bless them, you know, they don't even question if they're crazy or not. It's what they are. It's, you know, maybe they're struggling with the mental illness of like schizophrenia and stuff like that. But for those who are just struggling with you know, panic attacks and anxiety attacks, you're on the total opposite spectrum of crazy. You're too in touch with your mind. You're too in touch with your body, too in touch with the sensations and every thought that goes on in your mind. You're too sane. That's the thing. That's why you're like this. You're too sane. You're on the opposite end of insanity. So all it is an irrational thought, guys, because the anxiety response, the stress response, the adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, the panic, whatever. It's such a life-changing experience when everything's normal and one day you have this feeling come over you that's just, you think, it's the closest thing to death, really. You just feel awful. Shaking, some dizzy, DPDR, you're bleeding. It's horrible. So for you to experience that, of course, it's, as Claire Weekes says, it's normal in the circumstances. Of course it's normal in the circumstances. The body and the mind then thinks, what the hell is going on? What's wrong here? You're not losing your mind. You're not going insane. It's an irrational thought. I've had those thoughts for many, many years, 10 years. Nothing has ever come true, guys. It's an irrational thought. If you have a fear of going insane or losing your mind, just think of that quote. You are on the total opposite spectrum of insanity. You're too sane. You are too in touch with reality, guys. And that's it, you know. You feel a tingle in your fingertip or a tingle in your toe, and you think there's cancer in it or something, or think like you must be falling off or something. You're too in touch with reality. Let the body and mind just be. Let it be. Stop trying to question what's wrong with us and just let it be. There's nothing wrong with you. The constant checking and the behaviours you're doing to get rid of this is what's keeping you in the cycle. Let it be. Leave your mind alone. Your mind will heal itself. And you know, when you have your first couple of panic attacks and anxiety attacks, stuff like that, and then you start this retreating mode and retreating from everything and just dodging everything in your life, and like, that's what keeps you in the cycle. Now you're stuck with a behavioural condition. All you have is a behavioural condition right now. You're brought on by prolonged stress. That's what it is. Nothing to do with insanity. You know, so just gonna have a quick video there, guys, you know, and again, you're on the total opposite end of losing your mind, guys. You know, and you might think that, oh, but what if I have this for like another 10 or 20 years, then I'll definitely lose my mind. No, you won't. You won't. It's not a some sort of mental breakdown, guys. You're not on the verge of that. It's the stress response in your body, and the behaviours you're doing is causing you more distress. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. You're not crazy. You're totally fine. You have a behavioural condition that is you can totally overcome it and go on and live a normal life like you did previously. So that's it, guys. I'll leave it at that. Take it easy.